Boom. Alright, hello and welcome. Season 9, Episode 11, Nature's Paradise. Aren't these all Nature's Paradise, though? Oh, there's all a paradise. But yeah. And for American passports, isn't it like your passport is like always renewed for like 1 year? Or not 1 year, 10 years. I had the one, I forgot about the zero in my sentence. Because like when I got mine, it was you had the option to pick between a 5-year or a 10-year passport. And I was like, why would I pick a 5-year one? It's like it's just more efficient to pick the 10-year one. There's no, okay, it's only 10 years, okay. It's like, would I rather pay more in the long run if I were to ever get another 5-year one and have to renew it twice as often, or just pick the better option? It's like crazy. Like I wonder, like at least if they still offer the 5 versus 10 year up here. I wonder, like, what's the ratio of people that pick 5-year versus 10-year? I would hope like it's overwhelmingly in the 10-year favor, because yeah, that's just the more logical option to pick, in my opinion. In my personal IMO. And my passport is about to expire in like 2 months or something. It expires sometime in May, I'm pretty sure. I remember I got mine right before SGDQ 2016, and I like giga put it off. Like I got it like I think like a bit more than a month before I was going. Like I don't know, I like super put it off for some reason. I don't know why I put it off for so long. But I think it's like super weird because like apparently if your passport is close to expiring but not expired fully, like you can still get denied of like entry across the border. It's like, okay. That's a definite alright. Your passport photo works? Yay! Yeah, I remember, I think it was when I was signing up for like an account for like United Airlines or something like that, like to get my passport linked to my account so I could like check in through like the website or the app, whatever it was. I remember like it just would not fucking accept my passport. Like it just kept giving me an error, and I'm like, this is a good photo. Like I don't know what more you want from me. Like, I don't know what I did, but I eventually got it to work. But I was just like, bruh, this is super annoying to deal with. I guess getting the app set up was eventually pretty pog though. Like it was nice when it was all set up. I mean, hey Justin. Oy. Are you ready for more dying to the company monster tonight? Even though I don't think you died to the company monster last night. Potentially. What do you mean potentially? That's not just like a me versus yeah blubbers. Damn, is that a good sub emote idea? Like just have like insert your character and then it's the me versus yeah. Do I have that as a, is that like even a 7TV emote? But that, I don't know how good that would work though, actually. I don't know. Maybe. That's a thought. We'll see one day, maybe, or not. I don't know. thought for thought. That's what I'm saying. I actually have no idea what I'm doing today. I like thought about it. I was like, do I want to do a glitchless run today? And I'm like, I honestly don't want to do a whole run today, so I might just do a little bit of practice again. I might do like more segment stuff. AKA maybe practice doing like Epona segment to aliens, aka the big in-game time segment of glitchless. Just make sure everything lines up correctly. Because getting that down is pretty important. Yeah, a full run. Yeah, a full run of 100% glitchless. 100% bitchless. Glitchless, damageless, only Deku. Yeah. Dude, thinking of only Deku, I love in one of Kita's LOTADs, low optimization, tool assisted demonstration. It was like a couple years ago, but it was, I forget what the full like goal was other than like obviously beat the game, but he ended up doing Swamp Spider House in this LOTAD, and in it he was like, I wanted to challenge myself by only using Deku Link for this. But then like he like just straight up says, oh yeah, but then I forgot that Deku Link can't plant magic beans, and then I just like, so he did like the first like half of it like with only Deku Link, I guess doing some like weird strats to like make it work, and then he's like, oh yeah, I realized like at this point Deku can't use magic beans, so I just did the rest normally and just ignored the challenge. But he didn't like go back and just like re-record it or anything. He was just like, yep, we're just gonna do this. Like it was so like just so like fuck it energy. It feels good. It's like, I don't know where it's from, but there was also another LOTAD, I think by Kita, where it was like an Ocarina of Time LOTAD, and he was in like the graveyard behind Kakariko Village, and it's something like, I'm pretty sure he like just like rolls into the grave, like into one of the grave grottos, but then he just misses and stands there for like 3 seconds and then walks into it, and they're like, what the fuck was that? And I guess he was like, he said like, I didn't feel like going back to re-record it to fix it. And I'm like, that's kind of hype, actually. I don't know which one that is. I asked Arma a while back, I'm like, do you know which one that is? And they're like, no. I'm like, buh. Thank you for the Miiverse, yeah, in DMs, Justin. Speaking of Miiverse, yeah, in DMs and Lethal Company, I know it said in one of the notes, one of the patch notes, that he wants to release V85 allegedly sometime soon. And he was like, that's gonna be a more actual content update. And as well, more enemies / creatures, apparently. And so I'm like, okay. Does that mean we'll get another moon for the first time in like 2 years? Because goddamn. Like not too long after like I got into the game, like he released, it was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like February or March of 2024, he released like a big update that put in like 3 new moons, and then ever since then we've never gotten another moon. And it's like, where it at though? Oh, to Ebo. Oy. How are you? Thank you for the glyph. I'm curious what that'll entail by saying that it'll be a more actual content-focused update. Curious. Curious what that'll entail. I don't know, but I'm having a good time playing the game again. I think a thing that like I really vibe with for Lethal, just how like the game works, is that it rewards you for just like actually like, optimizing your gameplay. I think that's like a satisfying part about it. Like it's like, oh, like the better you play, like the more items you can get back. I guess that's one thing if you compare it to Repo. Like there's like you can go as slow as you want, but I feel like getting, I mean, I guess getting like a lot of items back in Repo, it felt pretty good when you got like everything and didn't break anything. But you also weren't like under like a time restraint or anything, so you weren't like as pressured to like be like, oh, I have to play like really well to like get all this stuff back. Like if you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. I'm still surprised whenever I look at Steam and like it says for me last played Repo like June of last year, or I think I played like once in July, I think. It's like, damn, kind of crazy. We like a giga fell off that game. What'd y'all think of Repo? What'd y'all think of that game? I don't think it's like necessarily a bad game or anything. I think I just would rather be playing Lethal Company at this point over Repo, you know? I think that's like my take on it. I'd rather play Lethal instead. Like how Lethal looks more. Like, just like as an overall, or like in terms of like just like how like enemies are designed, or general aesthetic. Yes to the above. I will always give them credit though in Repo. I think like the character like you play as, the semi-bots as they're called, like the little robot characters you play as, I think they did a really good job on those. I think like they cooked with that character design. That was like definitely when we first played Repo. That was like one of the things that like I noticed. I was like, oh, these characters, like these robots we play as, like I like how they look. Like they feel like distinct enough to be recognizable, but they're also not like too overly stylized at the same time. Like I guess like with like the employees in Lethal Company. Like you can see a Lethal Company employee and it's like, oh yeah, that's the Lethal Company guy, but like it's not like too like over the top. Like it's just enough to be recognizable, which is good. I don't know what that thought was really trying to be, other than just trying to be like, yeah, the semi-bots look good. That was the thought. That was the thought. Send tweet. It looked more unique than Repo. I can see that. I do think Lethal's like just visuals are pretty unique with its shader. It creates a very unique art style. Where like a low-key thing is like how like objects that are close to you will have like a dark outline around them. Like if you're like outside, they're like rocks that are close to you and like the scenery will have like outlines around them, but like ones that are further away like will not have any outlines around them. Which I think is pretty unique. Pretty cool. I would definitely say, I think, just like in terms of like the visual design of creatures and enemies in Lethal versus Repo, I definitely prefer Lethal Company's enemy designs visually, and well, probably gameplay wise. I think Lethal enemies are a lot more fun to play with than Repo enemies are. Like, I feel like a majority of the Repo enemies are just like kind of like gross looking. Like they're just like too like grotesque vibes. The tulip snakes are pretty cute. And I do appreciate that there's like a decent amount of enemies in Lethal that aren't like outright just bloodthirsty constantly. Like they do that. There's like a good amount of passive enemies, like that the Squidward one that I keep calling it, the backwater gunkfish. How that one, like, if you like just leave it be, it doesn't really bother you. Same with like the spore lizard. Also, you get paid this week. That passport sent you back. Yeah, passports do be expensive, blubbers, but at least you won't have to worry about that for a while now. Must depart here. Buh. All right, enjoy getting some Chinese food from down the street. Mouse, work with me. Thank you. All right, Ebo. Mouse. All right, Ebo, guess that means you have to come in a lurk now so we can talk about you know. And then Justin's busy door dashing. Oh frig. He DoorDash. Oh, this is definitely a really unique like mountain shape. Feels good. We do like that when it's a unique mountain shape. Apparently it's a cherry blossom thingy. Ooh. Hoggies. Okay, okay. Cover that up. Cover that thing up, you know. You know. And that's a definite yesterday. It was it was snowing actually for like a very brief moment in the day. It thankfully like wasn't cold enough to stick, nor like did it snow for very long, thankfully. But I'm like, damn, can we be free from this? Like, I think it's crazy how I posted on Tuesday, sometime last week. I posted like first time going for a walk in t-shirt and shorts this season, I guess this year. But yep, unfortunately due to weather RNG, that is the March through April months, you never know what you're gonna get. You can never be truly certain, at least in my area. You can never be truly certain. I'm like, damn. Yeah, it never knows if it wants to be spring or if it's like, ah, JK, now we're going back to winter. Fuck it, winter time again. It never truly knows. It's always just kind of like throwing a dart on a dartboard and seeing where it lands. I guess technically I should probably put the blue down first, now that I think about it. Also, I'm growing increasingly concerned. It's been 30 minutes and Prac hasn't copy pasted yet. I wonder if he's okay. I wonder if I need to send out a search team for him. He's probably fine. He's probably actually sleeping. I think he'd have today off, maybe? Question mark? I'm not sure. We get a bit of brown in here too. Get that brown color going. I'm kind of locking in right now, actually. We are not going to be spending 30 minutes painting this mountain. Unless, what if I do anyways though? Fuck it. Get some green going on too. Do we use the dark green actually? Use an in-between? That'd be crazy to use an in-between. I think that actually works pretty good. Using the in-between. I think we'll use that actually. Rare footage. We're getting, I think this is a new color being used. We've never used this green tone specifically. Like I usually say, I try to usually just stick to like the default palette, because I think it's just more simple doing it like that. I think it's just easier to not to deal with so many color choices. So many color choices that are also still predetermined, that one's like you can't like just pick your own color. You know, obviously not like with a traditional painting program or just real paint where it's like, yep, you can just make your own color, whatever you want. I like the simplicity of just sticking with the default ones usually, but sometimes it's like, none of these are working. I guess sometimes just not overcomplicating it can be nice. It's like what I say about like when I'm doing, come on, you can work, thank you. When I'm doing like digital art in like Clip Studio, because that's the current illustrating software I use on my computer. Like I bought this big ass brush pack like a long time ago that has like 100 of the brushes in it, and I don't even use any of them these days because it's just like too much. Like it's too many to sort through and just like be like, oh, what's this one? Is this one good? Do I like this one? Nope. Oh, is this one any good? Like I think it's just easier for me to just like stick with like the default included brushes usually. The mouse is being picky right now and not working sometimes. Okay, I need to, I think, de-dust this thing real quick here. Because I definitely noticed that if the little, fun fact, there's a little ball inside the mouse. In case you didn't know that, now you know. But when it's dirty, like if it gets dusty, like I notice it doesn't work as well, usually. Give it like a wipe off of my hand, I guess. Actually, I guess I have a towel right here. I could wipe it on. Oh, that was a good dunk. Man, I feel like I have like the colors in my mountain, but like I don't know. Something about it ain't vibing. Maybe it'll come together more when like it's in the context of the rest of the painting. I'll have to see. We'll wait and see. Just see what the vibe is, I guess. I don't know why I just doubted myself real quick if I was actually recording. I don't know why I just had that like quick doubt in my mind. I was like, was I actually recording? Even though I know for a fact I was recording. Like I'll have that thought every now and then. Sometimes if I'm like when I was playing Sly, or if I'm doing Mario Paint like I am now, I'll sometimes just have like a random thought in my mind like, wait, did I ever hit record? And thankfully, every single time, it's always been, yes, I did hit record, thankfully. Thankfully, every time. Damn it, bring back Sly. We're back to playing Sly 3. I remember when we were playing Sly 3. Good times, good times. Okay, let's do a bit of this. And then a bit of this. But this just means that the Hollow Knight playthrough can finally start sometime in the foreseeable future, maybe. I can see what this whole Hollow Knight thing is all about. Like, I'm curious how different Hollow Knight will feel as like a Metroidvania, because the only other ones I've played were this game called Islets and Crypt Custodian, which are actually both made by the same people. And when I played Islets, like I thought it was a fun game, like I liked it for what it was, but I was also at the same time I had the thought of it feels like a bit like underbaked. Like this feels like, oh, like baby's first roguelite or Metroidvania. Because it wasn't like too like in depth, it wasn't too crazy. Like it didn't ever really get too difficult. And my thought process was, I was like, okay, I picture Hollow Knight is like this, but there's just more to it. That was my thought process. So, guess we'll see. Because I feel like I've heard a decent amount of people say that Hollow Knight's like actually pretty difficult. Like low-key. Low-key a pretty hard game at times. We'll just have to see. Okay. Also, yeah, I've noticed that recently for like the past multiple Bob Ross episodes that I've done, they've all for some reason cropped the final painting at the very end. I've brought that up before, but I just noticed it again today on the current painting we're doing. That for some reason the cameraman cuts off like a decent chunk at the top and bottom. Which is fine. It's like nothing, no big deal usually, but it's interesting because that was never an issue like in previous like episodes, but for some reason the last like 3 paintings I've done, like they've all had that issue for whatever reason. And it's like ain't no way the cameraman like isn't noticing that. Maybe they got a new guy and he just like isn't in the know yet, and no one's telling him. Making a mistake and no one's correcting him. Well, does it count as a mistake? It's just like a change. But like, I'm definitely a firm believer that like you shouldn't be like cropping media like that, in my opinion. Like how God, it's like a whole thing with Dragon Ball home releases, at least for Z. How like basically every home release of Dragon Ball Z has like some kind of fuck up with it. Like they just like cannot release a good version because I don't know what the hell is wrong with them. But they, for some reason, like one of the releases of DBZ that actually like looks pretty good overall, they for some reason cropped it to be 16:9, and like I cannot imagine what the hell they were thinking when they decided, we have this TV show that was made in 4:3. What if we zoom it in and cut off like 20% from the top and bottom just so it fits a widescreen 16:9 monitor? Like what? Like if you're gonna do stuff like that, like put it as an option in the settings somewhere. Like don't like just fuck up the whole picture for no reason. It's a frustrating topic because it's like it's so absurd that they're so incompetent of just putting out a passable version of their own series that they've made. It's like insane how many times they fucked it up. And I guess like I'm not somebody out here actively buying these home releases, but just like even seeing it, I'm just like, bro, like come on, like how are y'all like fucking this up? This shouldn't be this much of a project. It should be like, it should be pretty easy, I feel like, to just like do it correctly. And the most maddening thing about the whole like them cropping it to be in 16:9 and cropping off like a good chunk of the screen. Apparently there was a time where Funimation or whoever it was specifically like put out a poll being like, hey, would you rather have the home release, their next release we're gonna do, be in full uncropped 4:3 or cropped to 16:9? And apparently the poll won to be in 4:3, but then they said fuck it and cropped it anyways. So it's like, what is your problem? Why are y'all so insistent on fucking it up? But it's like, why'd you run the poll anyways? Why'd you bother running the poll if you weren't even gonna abide by the outcome anyways? Like that is even more insane to me. I have no idea what they're doing over there. Absolute madness. Apparently. Absolute madness. But it does make me wonder, like, are there that many people out there that are genuinely bothered by, like, if they're watching, like, older media that were made for 4:3 aspect ratio, and they're like, oh, I can't watch this, like, there's black bars on the side of my screens. But then it's zoomed in, and then there's black bars. Well, I guess there wouldn't be black bars on the top and bottom, actually. But it's just like, bruh. Like, are there, I genuinely wonder, are there that many people out there that, like, are that bothered by it not taking up the entirety of their TV? Like, genuine question. I actually have no idea. Like, are there normies out there that are that particular on that sort of thing? But another interesting thing in that topic is how I downloaded this, like, open reel film scan, whatever like the specific title was, this film scan of Spider-Man 1, of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 1, and it is like 4:3 uncropped, and it's interesting because, like, that movie was, like, filmed in 4:3, but then it was cropped for, like, widescreen for, like, theaters and home releases, I guess. But that's like a different case, because, like, that they filmed that with the intent of cropping it, not like DBZ, where, like, they made that in 4:3 with the intent of it being in 4:3. Because in this Spider-Man 1 film scan, you can see shots where, like, there's, like, the mic just in the top of the shot, because it's like, oh, we're gonna cut that out anyways, so it doesn't matter if it's there. So it's like, clearly that wasn't, like, intended for them to release it like that, but it was cool watching it like that, because it looked really nice from the film scan. It looked super good. I know Justin was talking about it last night, just how there's, like, a certain vibe to, like, older cameras and such. Which I agree. Because I forget why, but he sent me the picture of that, like, classic, I don't know if it's like Halo or what kind of game it is, but it's like some, like, early 2000s, like, LAN party, and it's like that picture of the guy, like, duct taped to, like, a support beam. And we were just talking about, like, that sort of thing. And it's like, yeah, I don't know what it is. There's just a vibe to, like, old cameras that just look nice. I wonder how much of it is, like, it's like, oh, it's like a reminder of, like, maybe simpler times or something. I wonder how much, like, that goes into it, maybe. Like a time capsule almost. It's like same thing with, like, older anime. Like, there's just, like, a certain vibe to, like, how they looked back then. And it's hard to fully describe. But I do think a part of it may be how with a traditional, or well, I guess it is also a byproduct of it being in traditional animation, but also just how older anime happened to be animated with that medium, is how, like, you know, with painting everything with physical paint on the cell, like, when a character is being painted for a frame, you'll get like subtle blending between like, oh, like here's like the base skin color of their face and here's like the shadow tone, whatever. Like you'll get like a little subtle low-key blending between the two colors. So it's not just like a harsh like, yep, that's a clean hard cutoff. And I don't know, it gives it some kind of like life to it, some kind of like organicness to how it looks and feels. I think like I think for me that's it, because I don't know, I feel like this one I just kind of notice, or maybe something you can just feel without it being like outright obvious all the time. But also I don't know what it was, but I feel like with a lot of like older anime, I feel like they did a lot more unique colored choices for scenes. I feel like that's something that I noticed a lot too, where I feel like it's a thing more with newer anime where, you know, not like I haven't seen like every anime or anything, so you know I'm no huge expert. Like I'm not gonna claim, oh, I've seen every anime, I know everything about this, but I do feel like a lot of newer anime seem to stick to like a lot more stock colors, like where everything a lot of the time is just usually the same, like yep, this is like their default like color palette and the default lighting, and we're gonna use that all the time. I feel like that's like a vibe that I feel like a lot of modern anime go with, whereas I feel like a lot of older anime would pick like more unique color choices for like different scenes. Like, oh, it's like, let's tint the colors for the lighting here. And like and that obviously is definitely still done, I would hope. Like I said, I don't really watch a whole ton of anime these days, so I guess I'm no expert, but I would hope that there's still companies out here doing that. But I think it's like a similar thing with I feel like in the early 2020s, I feel like there was an arc with games where they just kind of like fell into this trend of like a lot of games would use very bland, minimalistic UI elements. And like even like my thought whenever I see that, it's like I think about like Mario, even like Odyssey and like Super Mario Party. I remember like those games, they had very like sterile UI for me. They didn't feel very fun like older, like their previous titles were, which is kind of a shame. And I feel like that was just like a trend for like a while, but I feel like we've kind of gone past that. Because damn if just like fun presentation of UI elements can just make a game a lot more fun. And just like, I don't know, make it feel more memorable. It's like, I've talked about it before, but like something about the presentation of Mario Paint, like how when you click, like when you like draw with like each of these three brushes, they all each make like a different noise, and like the Mario brush makes its own noise, the airbrush makes its own noise, the eraser tool makes a nice noise. Like I don't know, it's just like it's just satisfying to like click things in Mario Paint, and it just like feels fun. Like, that's a nice noise. I don't know, they did a good job with the sounds in this game. I went, hey Prank, I was worried about you. I was like, oh god, it's been like a half hour and he hasn't showed up yet. I wonder if he's okay. Is Prank sick? Oh no. Just gay. Oh, Prank. Just being gay, as per usual. Prank, if Random comes by this weekend, are you gonna want to come by? I don't know if he is, but because David, well, I asked David, I was like, oh, are you free this weekend? And then when I asked him like last week at some point, he was like, oh, I'm not sure. I'll have to check the calendar. And he never got back to me about that. So I was like, ooh, maybe could get Random to come by and we could see the Mario movie and get litty. So I'm like, oh, that could be fun to watch the Mario movie with people. So good morning, Skittle. Probably not. I need my home time. Valid. I told David, like, okay, if you're free, you should message Random and then get back to me with the outcome. Maybe I should just message Random. You know, I'm gonna message David right now. Like, so getting lit on Saturday. With a Random, maybe. That's out though. Prank needs his rating time. And plus, did you already see the Mario movie, or are you? So I'm pretty sure you said you wanted to watch it with your high school bestie, but I don't know if you actually seen it yet or not. We didn't watch. RIP. I was originally thinking of waiting to like see when Blue Bob was coming over at some point, which is happening in May apparently. But also I saw him post, oh, I'm seeing it on Mondays. I'm like, oh, never mind. Yeah, because it was all like on like for the weekend of when like you and Eric and Evan came by. I like messaged Random. I was like, yo, like, you trying to come by this weekend? And then he was like, oh, I can't do this weekend, but I could do next weekend, question mark, which was this weekend that just passed. And then I was like, oh, potentially, I'm not sure. And then nothing, we didn't end up doing anything. So maybe this weekend we can get something to work. Maybe this weekend it'll work out. We'll have to see. Oh yeah, we could actually go to the Indian buffet potentially. So we didn't go to the Indian buffet on my birthday weekend, blubbers. We were laughing about how I asked her to see the first one when it was in theaters, and she said no, and now I asked her again, and she said, I swear you asked me to see the first movie. What do you mean she said no? Why doesn't she want to see the Mario movie with you? Why wouldn't she want to watch it with you, lovers? I need my home time because next weekend is your friend's wedding. Ooh. Hail Mary. I've never heard that movie, but I'm gonna guess just based on the title that that's like a spooky film. She only likes scary movies. That's crazy. That's crazy only liking horror films. Like, she literally will not watch other movies, question mark. Also, hey cats, how are you? My little sister ditched me and my older sister to go watch Hail Mary instead of Mario. What a bitch. Don't tell her I said that. How can you betray Mario like that? Come on. She low-key was sobbing that day because she missed watching the NASA launch live. I was like, oh, damn. Why was she sobbing over that? Like, is it that big of a deal? Question mark. I didn't watch it, high-key. She's really into space. Let's see. But like, what's the difference of watching it live? Like, it's like, is it not just like rocket ship, go up? Like, is that like not like the whole thing basically? Like, do we get like a live astronaut like reactions or something? Like, do we get like whatever the modern day Neil Armstrong is? Like, are they like, okay, all right, viewers at home, if we get 10 subs, I'll launch into space upside down. She said it's not the same. Oh man. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. I hear the washing machine go off. Is anyone else's washing machine going off, or is that mine? I don't know if that's one of yours, maybe. If that's Prax going off, potentially. Yeah, that's mine. Butter. So what did you think? What did you think of the Mario movie, though, Cats? As I have not seen it yet. I fucking hate social media though for like spoiling everything though. Not literally everything, but it's like, why are we like a week before the movie comes out, like officially like putting spoilers like everywhere? Like, come on, y'all. Like, what the fuck are we doing? You're right. Like, I guess like part of it is to generate hype, but like, come on. It's like impossible to avoid that shit. Like, unless you literally don't use social media. Like, I don't know why they were out here. I guess for anybody who actually hasn't been spoiled for anything, why they a week before revealed that one character that they revealed. Like, why the fuck would you show that? Nobody would have ever expected that character. I mean, I'd be surprised if anybody is in here who is interested in watching it that hasn't been spoiled already on that reveal. But it's like, y'all, like, come on. That would have been like so crazy to be not a knower of. But instead it's like, nope, you gotta gather your social media hype. You gotta get the tweets up, gotta get that 75,000 likes on that post, you know? Okay, bro. Yeah. It's so annoying. This is like back in when Odyssey came out, like when that was like the new game still. I remember I got spoiled on the fact that they had a Mario 64 Mario skin could play as, And, like, I thought that was so cool because that was something that Nintendo like would never do. Like that's such a not Nintendo thing. Like I think it was in the fucking Mario 64 speedrunning Discord. I think like I got spoiled of it in there, and I was like, y'all, you motherfuckers. It was so cool. It was like, whoa, holy shit! It like literally is the same. They didn't like fuck it up actually. And it was like when you were in like that area with Peach's castle, like it played like the Mario 64 Stargate sound. It's like, oh shit, that's the fucking 64 sound. Oh my god. But yeah, I hear people complain about that like so much in the modern day, where it's like, oh, teaser trailers like will spoil like way too much shit. Like, who was it? I think it was Skittle, maybe. Because months ago, like sometime, like I think in the summer last year, like or late, like early fall, maybe. We watched The Truman Show, the movie with like Jim Carrey. Me, Justin, and Skittle watched it together, and I didn't know anything about it. I'd heard of The Truman Show, but I didn't know like what it was. I thought it was a TV show, just based on the name. Like I just assumed it was a TV show. But I did not know like the big plot twists for that movie. And I'm pretty sure Skittles said like they got spoiled on it like before they saw it. And I'm like, buh, that's actually so fucked up. Because that's like the whole thing of that movie. Like I could only imagine like in the modern day if that movie came out, like trailers just like fucking like spoiling that shit basically. Because that's like the whole hype, I feel like. Like watching, like the first half hour of watching that movie, I was like, what the fuck is happening in this movie? Like this is such a weird movie. Like I was like, what is this about? It's like, it was so bizarre. The fact that anybody came up with that concept of a movie is fucked up. I don't know like how someone even thought of that. Yeah, Truman Show was really cool. It was a really cool movie. I liked it. Yeah, I feel like for the Mario, the new Mario movie, I feel like I've seen a lot of like mixed things online of people saying like, oh, they either like really liked it, or it's like, oh, I thought the plot was like really shallow, blah blah blah, whatever. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't think the plot was anything insane for the first movie, but like, it was just like, it was fun to watch. It was like I thought it was like a fine movie. Which apparently, spoiler but not actual spoiler, Justin was telling me that apparently they didn't fucking remove any of the composed music for the new movie to be replaced with licensed music. Thank fucking God they didn't do that again. Apparently, according to Justin, unless he lied to me, because I'm sure he probably would. But God. Like, it's still so weird that they did that in the first movie. That there's like, yep, here's X random, just like normie song playing. And like, at least it was like good music that they played. So like, at least that was a thing. But it's like, bruh, like, come on. Like, it would have been one thing if for the first Mario movie, if they had made the movie with those songs in mind. But the fact is that they like they had like original music or like music themed from like the games made for those scenes, and then at some point they replaced them for the licensed songs, and it's like, bro, like what are we doing? Like what was it when like they're in like the Donkey Kong Kingdom area, whatever they call it, and they had like Donkey Kong music made for that scene, but then in the final film it used Thunderstruck, I think, something like that. And it's like, bruh, like, come on. It's like, yeah, it's a good song, but it's like, come on. This is the fucking Mario movie, not the fucking Guitar Hero movie. And I remember hearing that it was something like the producer, like the director or something like that for the first movie. He had to like fight to like get them to actually use like the Starman music like at like the final part of the Mario movie when they get the star. Crazy. Like apparently it was gonna be replaced with Jump, I think. Like what was that, Led Zeppelin, I think? Apparently they were gonna replace with that song, and then the director or someone was like, no, don't fucking do that. So it's just like, oh my fucking god. Why are we doing this? But it's like how Skittle was saying on our walk yesterday. They were like, I kind of want to watch like the live action new like Sonic movies. And I'm like, yeah, I could be down. I've never seen them. I don't know much about them other than I remember people saying that apparently like the first live action Sonic movie is more like a movie that just kind of has Sonic in it, but then the other, like the sequels, are actually a lot better apparently, and are actually more like, hey, this is a Sonic movie. It's actually more like, it has more things from the games, or more just, it feels more like that, and not just, oh yeah, look, it's a movie. Oh, hey, look, there's Tails. It's apparently more like an actual, yep, this is a Sonic movie. Like, full stop, apparently. So it's like, that's pretty cool. We like it when the thing that you're making your movie entirely based around is actually like the forefront of it. Crazy idea, I know, right? Crazy concept to do it like that. All I know is that apparently the third Sonic movie, spoiler, I guess, question mark, all I know is that the third Sonic movie actually uses Live and Learn at some point in it, and I'm like, damn, I wonder if it's like actually the song, or is it some like weird cover that isn't as good as the original? Amazing. Wow. EG for the 77 months. Oh my goodness. GG's. What the fuck? How's it going? Are you ready for more company action tonight with the boys? Potentially. It's going, you had brunch with a friend and now you're on your way home. Ooh, like Spider-Man No Way Home, but it's G- is going home instead of not having a way home. You know, is he stupid? Why did he have no way home? Why didn't he just get his way home? Is he stupid? With the boys? Oh shit, with the boys. All right, Justin. Guess it means you're playing with us again. Damn, you came with a GG, and I'm actually just about done, I think, in a sec here. Just about done. I think. Well, I hope the brunch was good. I think I've only ever had a proper brunch like one time in my life. I think it was when one of like my, I don't know if it was like what it was. It was some like event or anniversary for like one of our family friend slash neighbors who have been around for like a billion years. But I remember going to this like, I almost just dropped the name of it, doxing, whoopsie, but to this brunch place that I'm pretty sure is pretty expensive. And I don't remember like much of it at all. I remember being pretty good. Which I guess if you're in an expensive restaurant, it better be good. Insert the time where Prack and I got expensive sushi that was really shitty, actually. Actually, the worst sushi I've ever had in my life was from a place that was way too expensive, but that's okay. That's fine. I hope they're doing poorly for business these days. Or that they've improved and lowered their prices. Okay. Yeah, I think on that note, on hoping that place is improved, ideally. I think we're gonna call this a done, finished painting, even. I think this one turned out pretty good. I like this one. It all came together pretty well, I think, in the end. So, shout outs to that. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next painting, and have a good day.